Welcome back to Joey's Table. So let me give you guys just a little bit of a heads up for right now, okay? I am in a very energetic and happy mood. I also just recorded a 20-minute video for you guys with Pringles. However, I just ate half of those Pringles on camera for 20 minutes. Worst part is I made a video on here once again, and it deleted the entire thing. I was fine. It didn't crash on me the first time it did. I went into the video thing to go to next and go to next. And then of course when I'm in the video and I'm just pressing play on the button, the app crashes, which it saves my video every time. It didn't save my video this time. I'm very, very upset because I told a long story. I had a lot of good emotion and energy. It's just, I'm going to try and keep that going. So it's just a little bit frustrating. But I'm going to retell this story. It's good because now this time I could retell it the right way, which it was told the right way. But that way I just have it all with my draft. And now I have my reel. So, and I'm going to bring out my second snack. Just because I'm probably not going to make another video that did kind of discourage me. But I do have my Pringles and I have my Starburst. Again, this was the first video. This was going to be for like a mukbang / ASMR and or later on. I'm not going to be doing that anymore. This is probably going to be my last video. But I did load you guys up with 4 videos yesterday. So go check them out. But yeah, let's get down to it. I was sitting here trying to figure out really quickly what kind of story I should tell when I realized I could tell you guys of my first job at a McDonald's, and how brutal my first day. Like, this was a horrible first day. Okay? I am somebody who's a workaholic. Since I've been in high school, I have done nothing but work. Education wasn't always in my favor. Schooling was just not the best. I was really saturated with a lot of other kids. I use the word saturated because my neighborhood felt like one color and not like ethnicity or anything. I mean, kind of, but I mean, I'm sure you know what kind that is, but it was, and I'm referring to white, but nothing bad. I'm not trying to say nothing bad, okay? What I'm trying to say is that, like, it was just kind of one sound. Like, it didn't feel like people had their uniqueness. It felt like people were just monotone. And I mean, that's how Chicago and Illinois can kind of be. A lot of people will tell you that because of like the way that like the area is just naturally with the environment of it always being gray, always being snowy, always being cold. People are kind of naturally in that same state of mind, which is fair. But my neighborhood was kind of the same way too. A lot of kids were really mean. So school wasn't really a focus to me. But that's besides the point. School is very important to stay in school, kids. But I just started working right away. But my first job, this is my house. My first job was all the way over here. My second McDonald's I ever worked at was right here. And yeah, I really did. I lived so close to a McDonald's, but I never applied for it. But I had a McDonald's that I applied for very, very far from my house that I got. So I kept it. 1 or 2 years, something like that. I only worked as a cashier. I was not old enough to work in the kitchen. I don't even think they thought I was right for the kitchen. Which will lead into why my second part of the story was crazy. So, I have a friend from school tells me, hey, that McDonald's that's by the house, I work there. And I can get you a job, and I can get you a job there tomorrow. And I just needed it. I wanted to do it so bad. I was like working at McDonald's and I was one of the only people I knew that was like working at the time. So when a friend told me, hey, come to my job, I was like, yeah, I'm on my way. So I applied. I put in the application and they accepted me very, very fast. So fast that I was in basically the next day in uniform, working in the kitchen? That was a weird thing to me. My first day at this new McDonald's, I was put in the kitchen. I've never been put in the kitchen. I am usually the type of person where you're like, you gotta go in the kitchen. I'm like, I'm not going in the kitchen. I'm not going back to that kitchen. You see all that grease. You gotta see all those people sweating. That is not me. Lord, have I learned that you can't get the world. You can't have your cake and eat it too. As I do mukbangs, crazy. But I ended up going to there, obviously, and went and followed by what they said. And the girl that I got the job from, she wasn't there. She left me alone that day. She was working somewhere else. Shout out to Shavana. So, I'm legit working there, trying to meet with these people, and I'm working with older people. All the younger high schooler kids are in the front. They're at the cashier. They're working in the drive-thru. They're having fun, passing out drinks, laughing, like on their phones. I'm in the kitchen sweating my butt off. Man. And that's not the tragic part of the story. That's what I did by the end of the day. A big mistake I made. So, I'm working in the kitchen, doing my thing, whatever. As I'm working in there, I literally just finished the video saying that I was not going to eat any more Pringles because my stomach's going to hurt, and my stomach's already starting to hurt. Dang it, YouTube camera. So it's getting to the end of the day. I finished off a whole stressful day. And in the kitchen, it's different from the front of the house because you're getting yelled at way more by your manager because you're supposed to be working, getting the food out there. I mean, obviously, McDonald's is about the food, and the customer service helps it out and gets the food to you, but the food is important, and the health and sanitation should be way more important in McDonald's than it was at the time that I worked there, at least. Don't hunt me down, McDonald's. I'm not putting out your secrets. Well, Joey, however, had the option to take a break. Okay, finish my break. And now, Joey, you can go to the back and you can clean all the dishes of all the day. So, yes, all those little slidey trays that you see the meat sit in, and grease traps, and the tools, and, yep, I did all the dishes. And it was very, very frustrating because at my first McDonald's I worked at for 2 years now, you pull down on the water spout to spray out water. Like there's a hose, but you have to pull it down and it sprays automatically to whatever's in the sink. There, however, I didn't really notice that at the time because I have so much anxiety going on. I'm like in my head checklisting all the things I gotta do to stay right because I have to impress the job, impress the people, and impress my friend, you know? So much going in my head. Starbursts. And one of the cashier girls, who I'm so excited to meet, because those are the people I work with. Those are my coworkers. People I'm working with right now are the people I usually stayed away from for 2 years straight. So it's hard to be transitioned straight over there when you didn't even think you were going to be there. And these guys are like, I don't know if I mentioned it. These guys are like shady. So, I have nothing to talk about. Me and my image. I look like the sweetest boy you know. So, it's hard for them to conversate with me. At the time, I was the sweetest boy you know. Oh my god, the Starburst just got stuck in my teeth. But anyways, the girl comes back there. She comes back there to talk to me, right? So she's sitting there, and I'm so excited talking to this girl. And she is to the right of me, as I'm looking, everything is in front of me. So as you guys are seeing from there, it's more of like I'm working, and I'm like, oh, hey, what's going on? Talking to her, you know, doing my thing with the water spout. And I'm pulling down on the one that you have to squeeze and pull down. But I'm just straight pulling down. Because I'm doing that, some water I could feel is squirting out. So in my mental mind of my mental, doing stuff often, and everything else about my day was kind of weird, but it's similar looking and has a similar style, but I'm in a different place. It's the only real thing that was different in terms of tools. So I'm pulling, talking to this girl, and what happens? Choop. Water endlessly spraying, spewing out of the wall, like one of those cartoons. You see somebody crack off a pipe, or one of those, like, even like a fire hydrant hose, like if you cut off one of the sides and all of a sudden you see that water just gushing out. That was my last, oh, that was not my last day. It should have been my last day. It was my first day at work at a place I don't know anybody. And everybody that worked there had managed to figure out how to run back there and hear me scream but not help me out in anything that I did. Let me tell you, that was a dramatic day. I cried. I'm not even gonna lie. I don't know where I got my ride from, but when I was on my way home, I cried my eyes out, man. I was so sad that day. I had such a miserable day. I clocked out early. I told myself, if you see a Starburst pop up in my teeth, I'm trying my best to get rid of it and not put it in your view, okay? But I was just, yeah, no, that was a terribly bad day because I gushed out the wall. My manager was already a super crabby jerk at the time. Shout out to Bill. Shout out to Bill. I almost called you Bob. My first manager was Bob, but if you ever see this Bill, shout out to Bill. And yeah, no, Bill, he was an angry guy. Super cool though. A jerk, but he was super cool. And yeah, no, that was just embarrassing. It was so embarrassing. He never let me down for that, and he was the assistant general manager. So he told everybody, man. And everybody, I mean, that was the icebreaker though, because I was already struggling to talk. I don't remember struggling to talk after that night, because everybody asked me about it. I'm gonna finish off the video with one more Starburst, because I can eat Starbursts, but look, I said in the original video, Pringles, I love to eat. Super good. I had a great time eating them. I can continue eating them. It's just gonna make my stomach sick. And it's just not worth it. It's not worth it to go through the whole can. Like, I didn't even finish the can now. Starburst, I can eat, but this will be a 30-minute video because I'm literally gonna sit here just trying to get it all out of my teeth. So I'll have a pink one. Okay. But I have one more story. I'm from the same place. So one time, right, in that shady kitchen table, I had problems with the guy. I had really bad problems with the guy. Because again, I came from working somewhere where I had a manager down my throat. But it wasn't like that. It was more of like a teacher, not your boss. The difference between those two is a boss can be your boss today, and he could be some guy on the street tomorrow. A teacher, you have to respect as your teacher, and tomorrow is it's still gonna be your teacher, and it's still gonna be a teacher you respect. And the word teacher respect, I mean, not every teacher you have to respect. For whatever your case scenario is, it doesn't have to be like that. It doesn't have to be like this, but you get what I mean. I just never had it with so much shadiness. I never had it where it was like favoritism was that hard. Like, oh yeah, you're a buddy that I hang out with after work, so you could do whatever you want. I'll have the kid do it. I've never had stuff like that before. I was spoiled, so. If anybody try to pull one over my head, I don't care who you are, Joey's coming at you strong. And people who know me by that. Because I'm the most savage person ever, but most times I could speak my mind as long as it's within reason. But I'll continue on with the story. Enough about me. So, There was this one guy I was fighting with often because I would always call him out for all the stuff he wasn't doing. Coming late, being high, sitting on his phone, sitting down, not helping us, leaving us to all the work, going to the bathroom, etc., 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 etc. Well, Joey, the pipe burster, I never really had a say anymore, so I couldn't have a say. But I had right points, and that's why I was always like, well, you know, you're gonna let one incident hold you over. But I was convinced that this guy was after me because he has said some shady stuff, and it always made me worried, which I would have never admitted back in the day, but I was, of course. And one day, I went out to my car, and my tire was slashed. I've never had my tire slashed before. Like, do you see me? What do I look like going out to my car and seeing my tire slashed? My jaw dropped. Like, what in the hell? And I don't have money for that. So I had to figure out, like, how am I going to get this car home? Da 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 da. I'm freaking out. I'm getting into all these arguments. I'm looking to figure out what happened to my car. Like, what happened? Where did my car get, like, a slash? Da 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 da. Whatever. Well, back in the day, Joey was kind of a smoker, and at that McDonald's, it was popping with smokers, so we all used to smoke. And I would smoke during work, like, occasionally, but I learned how much of a bad habit that is. Like, it's not even worth it. If you can handle your high, that's all you. I'm not one to judge, but me, I did not know how to handle my high with people, and I would get high, and I would have a panic attack. We used to have canines, police officers and canines come in the window. It's another story for another day. Because I have another crazy story there. But I had this. Well, okay, I'm going to save it for this. I'll keep. If you're going to stay to the end of the video, I'll tell you that story at the end. But I ended up letting one of the girls come in, and she was a smoker, and she was like, hey, can I smoke in your car? And I was like, yeah, go ahead. I was like, you can go ahead. I was like, here's my keys. You can smoke in my car. Just if you need to turn on the music or turn on the heat, just turn on the car. I don't even think my mom knows the story, so she's gonna kill me if she hears the story. But tell me why I made the biggest mistake ever, because that was during my break, and when I went back out there, I made so many ugly accusations at somebody that didn't even do it, which he has faintly said before, threatened at me. So I wasn't just calling anybody out to call anybody out. I'm not like that. He gave me reason. He gave me reason to believe that he would do something to me if he was, like, really on bad terms, and he has reasons to be on bad terms, so, like, one tire slashed, I thought, like, yeah, Joey talking crap kind of got you a tire slash. Whatever. No. It was my kindness that got me in trouble. It was my kindness that got me in trouble. And this girl drove it to the gas station because it was too cold. The gas station was next door. And I don't doubt that the girl drove it there. She just didn't know how to drive. So she took my car like a dummy, tried to take it out on the street, and she hit it against a curb. She hit the one tire against one of the curbs and slashed it open. She promised me she was going to give me that money, and she never did. After, like, 3 months after that, I was like, hey, you got that money for me? And she's like, no, I ain't got it. I was like, okay, so what's that? And she's like, I don't got it. And I was just like, okay. And you don't got it. And I just walked away because I was going to get that money. I wasn't ever going to get that money. So here's a surprise bonus third story for everything, for no third video, for whatever. So one time, me and my best friend Sarah, we usually get, like, really stoned, okay? We were really stoned together. And you don't have to be a pot smoker, you don't have to be on drugs. I'm not soliciting anything to you, and I'm not hoping you're taking any solicitation from me, because I'm not trying to do any of that. I'm just telling the story for recreational purposes before this minute's over. I basically got high with her, and this was during one of our breaks or when we were going into work. And me and her were, like, the best of friends, and this is the first time. This is at my first McDonald's after I left the second one. So this is, like pro experience with McDonald's now. So, you know, I'm working in the back, doing my stuff, because I worked in the front of the drive-through. I talked too much to be up at the front, so they never let me up there. But being in the back, I was good at. I was able to count money, do all that, do it fast, and I was able to, just do my thing. And it was awkward because I always got paranoia that, like, you'd get caught, get in trouble. This is when it was super illegal in Illinois. And a police officer with a canine unit pulls up to the window, pulls up to my window first, right? And his dog is sitting in the passenger seat and is barking uncontrollably. And I'm doing this money and I'm thinking in my head, like, dude, this dog won't shut up. This dog won't shut up. And I realize it's because I smell, most likely it's because I smell like marijuana. Because we had just recently did it, and like I know that a canine, like the way that we covered up was for work, but not for a canine. So this canine is uncontrollably barking. And it gets to the next window, which my friend Sarah's at, and I'm listening, and all you hear is the dog going out of control. So I buzz Sarah on the thing. I'm like, hey, did you? And I'm like this. Hey, did you have a dog barking at you? And I'm almost like, I'm so sure she was like, yeah, I did. And I was like, dude, it's because we smell like weed. And yeah, so that was my funny story because we were cracking up. Like, that was an unbelievably, like, wouldn't stop laughing moment. So shout out to Sarah. That's one of my favorite moments in life. Yeah. So I have all these colors of Starbursts that weren't supposed to fall out. I was just going to showcase them, but now they've fallen out. But what you guys think? Should I do it for an ASMR or should I do it for a mukbang? Leave it in the comments below. Leave a subscription or watch one of my playlists or videos. Thank you for tuning in, and I'm sorry about the video, guys. You guys don't know about the problem I'm having, but I'm going to fix it so you guys can see all the videos and not miss a single one. Bye!